Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this vlog is going to focus on food and nutrients. And I just went shopping and I'm going to talk about what I got and why. So I am trying to change up my diet right now, even with being on prep. So I follow an IIFYM approach, which means if it fits your macros. I take that in a different sense than a lot of people. Like, you'll go online now and you'll see these people posting hashtag if it fits your macros, and you'll see them eating things like Oreos or Pop-Tarts, or just basically it means eating whatever you want as long as it fits your macros, versus, you know, the old school bro diet of sweet potatoes, chicken, tuna, rice, blah, blah. I'm an advocate for whole foods and healthy food. Although, I am not going to lie, my diet has included more processed foods lately than I'd like to admit. But here I am admitting it. So, nowadays, most foods have more sugar in it than you even can understand. Honestly, America has went from here to here when it comes to sugar in their products. And you wouldn't even have any idea, because most of the time, people don't know how to properly read labels, or companies have a really good way of advertising and pulling their customers in. A lot of products also contain MSG and glutamate. Okay, so let's talk MSG and glutamate. So MSG and glutamate are in a lot of foods nowadays. And you probably hear people say, like, don't get foods with MSG. Maybe you have, I don't know, but most people don't really understand why that's a thing. Although MSG has very, very little taste itself. The actual purpose of MSG is to trick your brain. So basically, we're all in a trap, my friends. The FDA requires that foods have MSG written in their ingredient labels. But the thing is, most people don't know what to look for, because one, MSG and glutamate is sometimes basically disguised by other names on ingredient labels. Hydrolyzed protein, texturized protein, yeast extract, autolyzed yeast, glutamate, monopotassium glutamate, calcium caseinate, glutamic acid, yeast food, yeast nutrient, seasonings, added flavors or flavors, natural flavors, don't always fall for natural, malt or barley, maltodextrin, protease, pectin, carrageenan, cornstarch, citric acid, gelatin, protein fortified, chicken, beef, or pork flavoring, broth or stock, soy sauce or soy protein, soy isolate, ultra pasteurized, modified enzymes, and that's just a few. The best way to avoid MSG is to basically eat a whole foods diet. So now let's talk. Sprouted grains. So green sprout means that when soaked in water, their green sprout grows. So when the sprout grows, a group of enzymes and chemicals work to nourish the wheat germ and endosperm. And this is called germination, and during germination, vitamins and minerals like vitamin C and vitamin B, we don't generally get these vitamins from just whole wheat bread. So, because they go through the processing and whatnot, and that all gets removed. It doesn't gonna taste exactly like your normal bread, because Ezekiel bread, stop it. Ezekiel bread contains no flour, and it's made up of a mixture of grains. The ancient grains from the good old days, the grains that we are supposed to eat. Avocados. So people think that your diet should have absolutely no fat in it or be super low fat. Okay, that's fine, but your body is meant to have fat in it. Like, fat is a main part of our body, but the whole thing is you have to have the right kinds of fat. If you have the healthy fats in your diet, then there is nothing wrong with it. So avocados are a great source of healthy fats. And I also got salmon right here. And if you notice, it says wild caught. I had a choice between farm raised and wild caught. I do my best to stay away from farm raised salmon. There are things I have read about it. I go for wild caught, and I highly recommend that you do that as well. Great source of omega-3s. I love salmon. One of my #1 fishes to eat. I also do brown rice, okay? Because white rice is processed, brown rice is not. Also, you saw my other video, I made like a chicken parmesan with spaghetti squash. We have spaghetti squash right here, which I have recently been using because super low carb, but I mean, you get so much of it, so it's a great volume food, and this fills me up so much, so this is great for filling me up. Sweet potatoes, I do all the time. That's one of my big ones. Kale and spinach. Okay, I'll be honest, I hate kale and I hate spinach. Believe it or not, I do. So I'm trying to force myself to eat it more, and what I've been doing is I'll put it in a shake, which is why I got green apples as well, because green apples kind of help to mask the taste of the kale, and I put different things in there. So one day I'm gonna put a shake together and I'm gonna film that. No added MSG. This one says it's straight up, so, but the other ones had different ingredients that I realized were masked as to have MSG. That right there was a good one I found at Heinen's. Bananas, I eat 2 bananas a day. I go through those like crazy. I'm basically a monkey. Black beans are really high in fiber, potassium, folate, vitamin B6, and they have a really good phytonutrient content. So I really don't like black beans, but I'm going to try to get myself to eat them because they help lower the total amount of cholesterol in the blood, and with that, I mean, they help decrease the risk of heart disease, and a great addition to a diet, and I always read about them, learn about them, so I'm going to try to find a way to cook them in a way that I enjoy. So yeah.
Rising with each beat that the music is bringing, new flames in the fire that keeps burning. We're inviting the night in. Welcome, my heart so full, I'm devoting myself to the night. There's no motive, we're just listening, we're existing. Hearts of fire, we will dance all night. Young and free, we will feel the release. Eyes will light, we will see the dawn. We will stay till the country's born.
What's up, guys? So this vlog is going to be concluded with me talking about my current diet approach and where we're going from here on out. So at the beginning of this vlog, I was talking about my little shopping haul I did when I went grocery shopping, and that kind of set the tone for what I'm going to talk about right now. So I am a huge, oh my gosh, can't even express enough, huge believer in holistic health. And I want to make one video really talking about what really holistic health is and how I apply it to my life and how I'm going to take it with me for the rest of prep and honestly the rest of my life with that. So holistic health, holistic nutrition. Okay, we're going to talk holistic nutrition, let's talk whole health. Okay, so by whole health, let's talk whole foods. So whole foods, what does it mean to have a whole foods diet? Well, a whole food is basically a food that is as close to its natural raw form as possible. So we can kind of define this as, I guess, clean eating, if you will. But a whole food is not basically almost completely like raw eating, or just keeping foods in their natural state. We're not talking anything processed or anything with chemicals or anything of that nature. Unfortunately for us in America, most foods are processed, and most foods, as I talked about earlier, they contain a lot of hidden sugars and salts. Those little microwavable Campbell's chicken noodle soup, yeah, that right there, if you have one of those, that counts as 80% of your daily intake of salt that you should be eating. 80% from just that little thing. If that doesn't tell you how much sodium and sugar is hidden in these processed foods, I don't know what to tell you, man. MSG and glutamate are flavor enhancing because without them, these processed foods would taste like SHIT. Guys, I can't even tell you about the amount of studies that prove the health benefits of eating whole foods. Literally, if only the world was not inclined to just take prescription drugs and just all these crazy medications and whatnot and heal through natural healing. I mean, that's my personal view at least. So what I'm trying to do is opt for a diet that is based on fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, anything just in its natural state as much as possible. I want foods that are rich in phytochemicals. And phytochemicals are these powerful natural nutrients that are found in plant foods. The only way to really get these phytochemicals is to eat whole, unprocessed, raw, plant-based foods. So I am trying to currently incorporate more of those into my diet. Also, more beneficial fats and higher fibers are found in whole foods. So basically, lower fiber foods are these processed foods. But what happens when your diet is low in fiber? Think about it. Fiber makes us feel full. When we don't feel full, we're more inclined to keep eating these higher calorie, low fiber foods, and overeat leads to weight gain. Something I do is I track my fiber every single day, and I try to go above 18 grams of fiber a day if possible. Especially during prep, when I'm in a calorie deficit and I'm constantly starving and hungry. When I eat more processed, sugary foods, you know, first of all, sugar's like a drug. We want more and more and more. Plus, fiber keeps me fuller. When I'm eating these lower calorie processed foods, I'm craving more and more. And that leads you to cheat on a diet that you're already restricted in. That is the last thing you want. So fiber is a key component to keep us feeling fuller. So when foods go through this processing, it removes a lot of the healthy nutrients. So a good example of this is, let's talk oatmeal for a second. So most of us buy the Quaker Oats, the microwavable easy ones. I'm an advocate for this, I do it too. I'm trying to change that up. One change you can make, if you have the time to do so, is switch from the quick oats to steel cut oats. Now the reason for this is when you look at the Quaker regular rolled oats, the average quick oats has been steamed and rolled, okay? And also the oat bran has been removed, and the oat bran is what contains all the fiber and the main nutrients. So if you get steel cut oats, you'll skip the rolling and enjoy the extra bran, the extra fiber, and thus the extra nutrients. Think when you go to a grocery store and foods have a super long expiration date. Why do you think they have a long expiration date? They're pumped with chemicals so they have a longer shelf life and maintain their taste for a long time. These are chemicals that our body is not meant to have in them, obviously, but over time we just become used to it and immune to it, and it's like a drug to us. Like I said, these long shelf life foods also contain glutamate and MSG, just so that we keep wanting them and our mind thinks that they taste better than they really do, and we don't think about the chemicals. I found myself getting really sluggish and low on energy at one point in my diet when I was eating a lot of processed things like these protein cookies, you know, overdoing like the protein powders or protein bars, or just anything in my diet that I didn't really take much consideration to. I'm like, oh, Arctic zero calorie ice cream, that's great, but why is it 0 calorie? Because it's made with all these chemicals. There's just other things in my diet, like different granolas I was eating, or just a bunch of things that are processed. Even when you go out to eat, I mean, you don't know exactly what's going into that. The reason my energy was slow and I became sluggish is because these chemicals from processed foods keep building up and up and up and up in our bodies. So we keep trying to get more and more food because our body is starving, but instead of opting for the whole foods, we just keep eating more and more of this processed food to feel full. But in reality, our body's just really hungry because we're craving nutrients, but instead we just keep opting for higher calorie crap foods instead. So I noticed that, like, it was crazy. I was having coffee every morning, and then one day I decided to start with the green smoothie, if you will. So I threw in kale, spinach, and a bunch of raw berries into a smoothie. I kid you not, just from having that instead of coffee in the morning, I had clean, vibrant energy throughout majority of the day, and it was 10 times more than when I have 2 cups of coffee in the morning. This is what our body is meant to run on. We're meant to run on the foods that are from the land around us. In the long run, for health and medical reasons, whole foods is the way to go. It's preventative for diseases and just overall for our body to function correctly and to have more energy and just to be healthy individuals. Obviously, as my calories get lower throughout prep, it's going to be a lot more difficult. I'm going to struggle, but right now with my calories still being decently high, I'm going to do what I can. In the long run, this is how I'd like to live my life forever and eat holistically and have whole foods. But with the calories I have now, I'm able to do that. As I get lower, it's going to be a bit trickier, but I'm going to document the entire thing, do what I can. I hope that what I'm doing is going to inspire you or give you some ideas to do your own research or how to apply it in your own life and to hopefully opt for the same diet. Also, guys, no disclaimers. I am not going vegetarian or vegan. That's not this. But I am just trying to go a more whole foods, organic diet. I'm still gonna eat my chicken, I'm still gonna eat my fish. When I do get my chicken, it's all organic, same with my fish and whatever. But, you know, I don't think I'm ready to go vegan or vegetarian just yet. Maybe down the road, I don't know. But right now, the goal is to just eat whole foods and clean foods when it comes to animal products. So that's where we're heading, that's where we're going. Ready to take you along the journey with me. All right, guys, I'm gonna go now. It was nice talking with you all. Have a nice day.